The Battle of Cane Hill, a turning point in the Trans-Mississippi. November 28, 1862. The American Civil War rages across the Trans-Mississippi theater. Union forces are determined to assert control over the state of Arkansas, while Confederate troops fight tooth and nail to maintain their foothold in the region. On this fateful day, the Battle of Cane Hill erupts, marking a key moment in the struggle for supremacy. Months earlier, in March of 1862, Union Brigadier General Samuel Curtis had driven Confederate forces out of Missouri at the bloody Battle of Pea Ridge. But by the fall, Confederate Major General Thomas Hindman launched a new offensive, striking from Arkansas into the heart of Missouri. Union Brigadier General James Blunt, a seasoned commander, moved swiftly to counter this threat, leading his men towards a fateful clash at Cane Hill in Washington County, Arkansas. The opposing sides were a study in contrast. Blunt commanded a formidable force of 5,000 Union soldiers, well-equipped and determined to halt the Confederate advance. On the other side, Brigadier General John S. Marmaduke led a smaller but highly mobile force of 2,000 Confederate cavalry, tasked with raiding the Cane Hill area for much-needed supplies, ultimately resulting in a strategic Union victory that set the stage for future conflicts. As dawn broke on November 28th, the battle began in earnest. Marmaduke's cavalry swooped down upon Cane Hill, hoping to secure provisions and disrupt Union plans. But Blunt was quick to respond, leveraging his superior numbers and powerful artillery to press the attack. The Confederates, realizing they were outmatched, fell back in a fighting withdrawal, making determined stands at Cane Hill, Newburgh, and finally, Reed's Mountain. The battle raged for a grueling 9 hours, sprawling across 12 to 15 miles of rugged Arkansas terrain. Marmaduke's men fought valiantly, employing delaying tactics to slow the Union advance and buy precious time. But as the sun began to set, the Confederates found themselves under increasing pressure and were ultimately forced to disengage and retreat. When the smoke cleared, the Union emerged victorious, having driven Marmaduke's forces from Cane Hill. But the Confederate gambit had not been in vain. By drawing Blunt deeper into Arkansas, far from his reinforcements, Marmaduke had set the stage for a larger confrontation. The casualties on both sides were surprisingly light, with 41 Union soldiers and 45 Confederates killed or wounded, a testament to the skill and tenacity of the combatants. The Battle of Cane Hill, though small in scale, had an outsized impact on the campaign for Arkansas and Missouri. It demonstrated that Confederate forces could no longer operate with impunity in the northwest corner of Arkansas. But more importantly, Marmaduke's delaying tactics had bought precious time for Major General Hindman to prepare for a major offensive of his own. Just 9 days later, on December 7, 1862, the two sides would clash again at the Battle of Prairie Grove. This time, the outcome would prove decisive, shattering Confederate hopes of reclaiming Missouri and cementing Union control over the region. So remember the Battle of Cane Hill, a small but significant engagement that marked the beginning of the end for Confederate power in the Trans-Mississippi. The bravery and sacrifice of the soldiers on both sides shall never be forgotten, their deeds forever etched in the annals of American history.